was a fucking rat. Yes, bitch. Ratatouille was kitchen. The first thing I do is I call 911. You fucking right. I call 911. Oh no. Ratatouille might as well round up all the gang and they can just have a whole fiesta under their refrigerator before anybody think I'm finna pay that much money to take care of Ratatouille. They don't start working till 8 o'clock in the morning. At 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm gonna be dead. Who knows? Ratatouille probably gonna find me if I'm asleep. My leasing office shouldn't have got that version of me. I didn't know who to slap. I definitely want to slap Ratatouille and his kinfolk.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Welcome to my channel.
My hookah is still getting to where it needs to be in order for me to have that puff. But not too much. We're gonna go ahead and get into this story tea with Bree. Hello, y'all. It's been a minute since I've done a story time. It's been a minute since I've recorded. So my intro goes, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Bree on TV, where I am your host, Bree. So as you can see, I'm in a different area of my apartment because this is unfortunately where the crime scene, where the crime scene took place. Okay, so I was like, what better way for me to give y'all the story tea other than me being at the crime scene? So that's how we ended up in my kitchen, aka dining room. Grab yourself something to drink. I am drinking on water because I got my hookah going. The hookah or the shisha of choice is, don't get me to line, I'm gonna just put it on the screen. So grab yourself some hookah, grab yourself something to drink. I like to drink water or Red Bull when I'm, smoking on my hookah. Let me just ask you something. What would you do? Let this be an episode of what would you do? What would you do if you just mind your business and then you're in your kitchen actually fixing a hookah, because that's what I was doing at the time, and then you just see out of your peripheral something like run across the floor? What would you do if you found out that the culprit, you finally see it face to face, like y'all see each other, was a fucking rat? Yes, bitch. Ratatouille was kitchen. Oh my god. Let's get into the story time. Let's do it. I love her. I watch her on TikTok. And she from Atlanta. Oh, y'all say hey to Teddy. I forgot to introduce Teddy. Y'all say hey to Teddy. Teddy is a candle holder. I got him from Bath and Body Works, limited edition, a seasonal item. And I am burning Bath and Body Works High Pumpkin Spice Latte 3-wick candle from Bath and Body Works as well. As I was making my hookah, I always like watch YouTube or got some type of music playing, so it's never really like quiet in my house. So I'm watching YouTube, making my hookah, and out of my peripheral, because again I'm facing this way, I just see something small, fast as fuck, boy. Like that shit was so fast. It just runs, okay, it runs from here, which is technically like under my cabinet. It runs across my white baseboard into under the refrigerator. Because my apartment wasn't quiet, it's like I don't even know if I heard anything, but I saw something move out of my peripheral. So because I didn't see it with my eyes, because we didn't meet face to face, and I didn't like say how you doing and say like what's up, like you want to smoke hookah, none of that. So I go put on some slides, because I ain't have on no slides. I was in my I think I had on socks or either I was barefoot. I can't remember. But I know I ain't have on no shoe. So the reason why I go and I grab my slides is because I'm like, whatever the fuck I think I saw, I'm literally gonna stomp out next time I see it. So I come in here and I'm wearing my slides, but I don't see nothing no more. But I know whatever I saw is now under my refrigerator. And so the first thing that I'm thinking, like, okay, was it a lizard? Because I knew it wasn't a roach, water bug, spider, anything of that category, because it was technically big enough for me to like see it in my peripheral, and it was fast enough for by the time I turned my head, I ain't see it no more. So now I'm standing in my kitchen with my slides on. I don't hear nothing else from the Ratatouille. I continue to go along with my day, smoke my hookah. I'm no longer in the kitchen. I turn off the lights. So now it's pitch black in my kitchen. I think the only light that I had was a candle. This candle right here was burning. So I come back into the kitchen, and before I step into the kitchen, because my kitchen and my dining room have hardwood floors, as you can see, obvious, but my living room and everywhere else in my apartment, it has carpet. So I leave my slides stand like basically where the carpet and the hardwood meet, so that way anytime I step foot into my kitchen or my dining room, I'm putting on the slides, because whatever is in here is finna get stomped out. Y'all know the vibes. So I'm coming around here. I have my hookah in my hand because the hookah's done. It's finito. Remember, it's pitch black in here. I turn on the lights, and I always turn both of them on at the same time. I got my hookah in my hand. As I curve around here, I guess with me and my big footsteps and me turning on the lights, I startled Ratatouille, because this didn't know what to do. This is when me and Ratatouille meet face to face, so pay attention. I'm coming around here. Can you see where my hand is? Ratatouille comes from under my bar area, and it quickly shoots a beeline. Hopefully I'm using the right word. Into under my refrigerator. As soon as I see the culprit, immediately start crying. Y'all probably like, Brie, that's what you did. Yes. Immediately, I just broke down. I break the fuck down. I have never in my life witnessed a rodent. It's a part of the rodent family. I've never in my life witnessed a rodent, a rat, a mice, a mouse, a hamster in my apartment before. So how the fuck I know to react? I don't know how to react. I don't even see the face of Ratatouille. When it comes from behind my bar area, I just see something small, gray, furry. And it obviously was small enough to fit under this area, under my bar. Because this isn't a big crack. So this wasn't Mama Ratatouille. This wasn't Grandpa Ratatouille. This had to be baby Ratatouille. Maybe even a newborn. I don't know. We will never know. So that's why I say, what would you do? This is an episode of what would you do if you came face to face with Ratatouille? But let me know in the comments. Because I'm pretty sure out of the females that I know, I feel like most of us would have broke down crying, or we would have screamed really loud. I don't think I know one freaking female barbarian that would have been like, let me go get my, switch or my belt, or I don't know, what a slipper. Like, who the fuck is finna come over here and try to like Like, God, I don't know who you think that I am. Like, I don't know why you keep putting me on the field as your toughest warrior, soldier, or whatever the hell the situation is, but get me out the motherfucking field, because I'm not built for this. I'm not built to tackle rodents in my apartment where I pay over an arm and a leg for rent. I'm literally breaking down crying with this hookah in my hand because I don't even know if I want to continue my path, literally like 2 or 3 footsteps to go put the hookah in the kitchen, now that I know for a fact Ratatouille and probably his kinfolks, because I don't know, is now playing fucking house in my apartment. Like, no sir. The first thing I do is I call 911. You fucking right. I call 911 because I don't know what to do in a situation like this at 1:30 in the morning. So the operator or the dispatcher picks up the phone and is like, what is the emergency? Like, what is the address of your emergency? So I give her my full address. And she was like, are you hurt? I was like, I'm not hurt, but I'm startled. She was like, well, like, what's going on? Is the person who hurt you or something like that, are they still in the house? Like, are you harmed? Are you touched? And so once I break down everything that happened in regards to like why I'm calling 911, so then she informs me, well, like, we can't send a police out, we can't send a fire truck, we can't send an ambulance, out to your address for situations like this. So I'm asking her, okay, like, what should I do? Because that's why I called y'all, because I don't know what to do. And she was like, well, you can call a 24-hour exterminator. I'm now in my bedroom going through the 24-hour exterminator companies. The first one I called, he's letting me know, yes, I can come out to your address tonight. He's letting me know how long his company has been in business, how they handle these type of things. They work 24 hours, 365 days. Ooh, I hope that's how many days are in a year. Basically, they work around the clock. He's built for this type of stuff. So he's like, okay, you're not far from my location, so I'm about to head to your address. Now, we all know nothing in life is not free. Even though I'm like, breaking down, I'm sad, and I'm just in disbelief that Ratatouille is in my kitchen, I know for a fact that nobody's coming to my apartment to handle this situation for free. So I asked him, I said, well, how much do you charge? Had the nerve to quote me $13.25.
Wow.
Me and you both.
The pressure is getting.
Know that this man is not talking about $13.25.
The guys are giving up.
We both know that.
And the ladies
but for clarity,
are whipping.
But for clarity, I just want him to say what $13.25 is. So I said, sir, before you head to my address, $13.25, can you clarify that? $1,325 for Ratatouille? Oh no. Oh no. Ratatouille might as well round up all the gang and they can just have a whole fiesta under their refrigerator before anybody think I'm finna pay that much money to take care of Ratatouille. Ain't got it. Ain't got it, and even if I did have it, I wouldn't pay that for Ratatouille to be deceased. I feel like I could go basic training of pest control, learn the ins and outs of rodents and that whole family, get certified, buy the uniform, and take care of Ratatouille myself for $13.25. That's what I feel like I can do with that amount of money and still have some left over. So then, before I call the next pest control company that's 24 hours, I'm like, like thinking in my head, like, well, how much are these other companies finna charge me? Because I feel like everybody kind of sticks in like a little box of how much they'll charge for a situation like this, especially being like a 24-hour service and it being like technically after midnight. So the next company that I call, a lady picks up. But this company is a little bit more confusing because she tells me that the call center is 24 hours, but not the pest control like exterminators that will actually come out to your place of residence. Because they ask you when you call, is this a commercial or is this like a residence? I guess to know how much to price you. So that right there, I'm just like, lady, me and you have nothing to talk about. They don't start working till 8 o'clock in the morning. At 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm gonna be dead. Who knows? Ratatouille probably gonna find me if I'm asleep. Like at this point, I'm just thinking like, I need somebody now. So lady, you cannot help me. The third and the fourth basically let me know what the rundown was. Because my property, I live in an apartment, because my property management company has a contract with the pest control company already, they would not be able to come out to my property and service me, because they would need to be paid through the property management company, and my property management company already has a contract with a pest control company. And me and the pest control guy, we like this because I've been living in my apartment for a long time. Ever since I started YouTube, y'all have only seen this apartment. So me and the pest control guy, it's been the same guy. We're real buddy because of the simple fact that he actually comes in routinely. Because I don't know if y'all know this, but when you live in an apartment complex, you are already paying for pest control. It's not something you have to, it's not something you can choose if you want to pay for, if that makes sense. Just like in the morning, I need to talk to my leasing office and I need to ask them, and I need to tell them, ask them, the fuck? I need to tell them that pest control needs to come to my apartment ASAP due to a life or death situation. Yes, bitch, that's exactly how I approach them in the morning. I let them know. They opened up at like 10. I was outside, I think at 9:45. Ask me how much sleep I got that night. None. I feel like I probably took a nap. Cause I just was so scared of Ratatouille. No longer feeling like this was a safe haven under my refrigerator and wanting to be curious and explore the rest of my apartment. That was my biggest fear. The day that I went to my leasing office, luckily that was the day that pest control came to the property. Because I don't know how it is at your communities where you live in residence, but pest control only comes out on certain days. So if you experience Ratatouille in your apartment on a Friday, you SOL. You are SOL unless you want to pay an outside pest control company out of your pocket to come and take or to rectify the situation. Once I'm placed down on the list for pest control, I let them know I need to be bumped to the top of the list. Because the way pest control works basically is, you know, they catalog everybody or every, you know, resident that wants to be put on for pest control. So with me coming into the office the morning of the day that pest control is coming to my apartment complex, I'm basically at the bottom of the list. Now with Ratatouille in my fucking apartment where I pay an arm and a leg, got me bent. So everybody can get it at this point. Even though I know my leasing office shouldn't have got that version of me, I didn't know who to slap. I definitely want to slap Ratatouille and his kinfolk, because what you mean you in my apartment? Like, what you mean? Am I dirty? Is that why you're here? Like, and at the end of the day, I thought rats, mices, and mooses, whatever the fuck they call, I thought that family eats cheese. I ain't got not one piece of cheese in my apartment. So I'm just baffled. Anyways, like everybody was getting this version of Bree that isn't a pleasant Bree. I would just say that, like real cutthroat, like real stern, like kind of aggressive. Not too much. So when he's greeted at the door, he's like, hey, ain't no fucking hey. We got a damn situation in the kitchen that needs to get rectified. After that, we can say hey, okay? So I let him know from detail where I was at, how I was hallucinating. This nigga cut me off as he's like walking in my apartment. Or it's like, I don't know if he cut me off, but it's like he wasn't listening to me because I told him Ratatouille was under the fridge. He comes into my kitchen. The first thing that he do is he pulls the, what is this? Damn, I can't even think. The oven. He pulls the oven back. And I'm like, what you pulling the oven back for? Ratatouille is under the fridge. And he was like, well, when's the last time you seen Ratatouille? And this is something that I have to add in here. Pest control, the leasing office, and every 24-hour exterminator company that I've contacted, even the officer, the dispatcher, they all kept asking me, well, did you see a rat? Did you see a mouse? I don't fucking know. Like, they all the same to me. Like, I can't, you could put, don't put one, but Jesus. I could watch a video of a rat or a mouse, whatever the situation is, and I won't be able to tell you the difference. So when they kept asking me that, literally all of them kept asking me, well, is it a rat or is it a mouse? I don't fucking know, and I don't fucking care. I just know it's in that family. And it needs to be gone. So he was like, oh no, the rat's gone. The rat's gone by now. Gone where? Like, what do you mean? Tell me something that I don't know. What you know so much about Ratatouille to where you can already tell me that Ratatouille ain't no longer behind under my refrigerator and that he gone. He just chucked up the deuces. Like, there is a hole behind my oven. There's a hole that's about this big, just in my wall. Just a big ass hole in my wall. Bray, what you got a hole in your wall for? I have this random big ass hole in my wall, and basically like right here is the pipeline for the gas that I guess takes care of lighting my oven or my stove. Why is there a big ass hole when technically it should just be the pipeline coming out of the wall? The world would never know. And what's crazy is while he was in here doing what he do, I was like standing like, it's like I was still too scared to step into the kitchen. So I know at first I was like standing here in the dining room area, kind of like close to my living room, until he lets, cause I'm over here like ready for World War III to break loose. Like, I'm just thinking when he moves back, whatever, you know, appliance that he moves back, Ratatouille is finna act a fucking fool and run mayhem in my apartment. So I knew that I should be standing like basically at the exit where you have to pass me, and I'm finna stomp your ass out. That was my thought process for when pest control was in here rectifying the situation. And I was like, how can you be so sure? He was like, because he's coming from the hole that is behind your oven. And I'm like, well, how do you know this? This man proceeds to tell me that he has been receiving multiple calls in regards to rodents in my community. Bitch, what? So I know I'm not the only one who's been into that leasing office recently and acted a fucking fool. Especially if pest control is telling me that he's been having to come out to the apartment complex more recently to handle rodents. I cannot wrap my head around that. Like, you may be like, oh yeah, Bree, I'm a homeowner. We come across rats and mice and stuff all the time. What you mean? But while pest control is here, he what he does is he drops, it was like a green object, and he said that the green object was like lathered in poison, so that if Ratatouille and his family eat the poison or the green substance, that they would. I still tell him before he can leave that he needs to check behind refrigerators, so that way we can make sure Ratatouille is not somewhere hiding from pest control. He pulls back the refrigerator, squeaky clean, nothing. Not even like droplets and everything of that nature. And that's also something that the companies kept asking me for. Well, you know, can you check for droplets? Bitch, what? No. Find somebody else to do it. I'm not checking for no droplets of a freaking rodent that is not supposed to be here in the first place. The leasing office needs to send out a contractor to patch up the hole. I'm like, you can't do that? Like, I need to make sure that Ratatouille doesn't find another opportunity to come back into my apartment after you leave. So that about wraps it up. Pest control came. He spotted where the culprit came from, his entryway into my apartment, and he assured me that Ratatouille was no longer in my apartment. He went back to his home, which means that, do I have like rats and mouses living in my walls? Like, somebody make it make sense. But he said because of the climate change, because it's a little colder now, that I guess they're progressing from outside to inside, kind of like how like roaches and water bugs and things like that do. But in regards to having the contractors come out here, I do need to put in a maintenance request for that, because I need to have it documented that this is the date that I put in for the work order, and you know, this is the date that either they came or this is how long it took for them to come and rectify. The contractors speak no English. It was they speak a little bit of English, but not really like enough for me to like have a full-blown conversation with them. I don't know why, but I just wanted everybody who was rectifying the situation to hear me out, listen to my pain. Like, I kept trying to inform from the dispatcher to the pest control that actually came into my apartment, to the contractors, to the leasing office team. I wanted them to hear from sun up to sundown of me making my hookah, you know, the Ratatouille running across me thinking I'm hallucinating, to me actually laying eyes on it, how I broke down crying. These folks is not trying to hear all of that. He's not listening to me like describe to him. He probably could give it two shits right taps, actually. That's probably why. It probably has nothing to do with him not like fluently, I guess, speaking English. I just think he could probably care less. I'm gonna patch up this hole that's behind your oven, and I'm gonna go and take care of the next project that I gotta take care of. You have a blessed day. That's basically the vibes that I was getting. That basically was the situation of how I survived Ratatouille in my apartment. And unfortunately, I don't have any videos or anything of that sort to like put up on the screen and stuff, so that way I can follow through, because realistically, when you see a rat or mice or rodents in general in your apartment, who the fuck is thinking to pull out their cell phone? Like, cause this is not a kiki ha ha situation. This is a life or death situation. Like, my life was in danger. my phone, I think, sensed my pain. Rodent, I keep saying rat, I don't know what the fuck it was, but I see like rodent videos. Like, so I'm on TikTok and then I see a girl and she has like, I don't know if it was a gerbil, a hamster, a mouse, or a rat, but she like had it, you know, like on her shoulder, and she was like recording herself, and I was just like who trying to be funny? Funny thing is, like, I see rodents all the time. I ride MARTA to work sometimes, so I'll see rodents in a railway tracks. It don't even bother me, because they doing them and I'm doing me. And I see rodents when I'm taking my trash out late at night. I don't have to get close to you, you don't have to get close to me. That's a whole different situation than a rodent being in my aura. Like, kind of like a 2-day, 3-day situation. I was not okay. I ain't gonna hold you, I was not okay. But I'm okay now, so that's why I can give y'all this story time. We can kiki ha ha. We can kiki ha ha about it, you know what I'm saying? Thank y'all so much for tuning in yet again to another episode of Bree on TV, where I'm your host, Bree.